You can make a difference. You can give hope to a child. You can change a life. And that is no small change.
Welcome to another episode of One-on-One. My name is David Stahl, and today what we're going to look at is the question that every mentor asks, and that's this: am I making a difference? Now, really, am I making a difference in the life of the child I mentor? You know, it's easy to start to believe that helping your child read or do math better or excel in school is the primary difference you're going to make. But more frequently than that, what happens is you help your child with life skills. At least if you try to do that and you're deliberate about that. So that's what we're going to look at today, is what are some of those life skills that you can help your child develop that will truly make a difference in his or her life. So I asked some mentors to give me some feedback as far as life skills that they teach and how they do it. And that's what I'm going to share with you today. And the first one seems really simple, but it's incredibly impactful. And that's this: have you taught your child how to shake hands? Seriously, have you taught your child how to shake hands? That's really important. One mentor shared with me that his practice is that every time when he and the little guy he mentors get together, right at the classroom door, they look at each other and they shake hands before they do anything else. And his little guy now expects to do it, and when he sees his mentor coming, he sticks out his hand. Now, why is that important? Well, later on in life, it'll be important as far as finding a job. There was a report on CNN Online that said that all of the employers that they surveyed said that they would overlook tattoos and body piercings more than they would overlook somebody who doesn't shake hands well. So it's a life skill that's really important. And let's face it, if there's some little boy or little girl that sees you and sticks out their hand to shake hands, boy, your heart melts right away. So I think it's an important life skill for every child to have. Secondly, another mentor shared with me about how sharing is a focus of their time together. And she does it real simply. What happens is that she brings 2 packages of fruit snacks to every mentoring session because she knows her little girl loves fruit snacks, and I think the mentor does too. But what they do is they combine both packages of fruit snacks, and then she has her little girl divide up the colors and divide up who gets which fruit snacks, and then they make sure that they have the same amount. You know what? It's a great life skill to have, to be able to share with somebody else. I know another mentor who on Valentine's Day, he brought in 6 cupcakes. And what they did is he and his little guy, they sprinkled stuff on, they decorated the cupcakes, and then they took them around to the janitor, to a couple of the other workers in the school, and this little guy shared a cupcake with each one of them. When they got back to the room and all the cupcakes were gone, the mentor pulled out 2 more cupcakes, and he and his little guy enjoyed them. But what a great lesson on sharing. Another mentor shared with me how she brings her iPad to their mentoring sessions, and what her and her little girl work on is taking turns. One of the rules they have in playing with the iPad is that when whatever you're playing is done, when you've had your turn, then you give it to the other person. In other words, we take turns, and it's not you get to play it 2 or 3 or 4 times and then you hand it over. The way she works it is that every time that a game is done, you take turns, you give it to the other person. And she is teaching her child the wonderful lesson about what it means to take turns. The next life skill many people teach, and I'm not sure if they even know that they're doing it. But when you play board games with your child, make sure to play by the rules. I mean, what a valuable lesson to have as far as play by the rules. And that means as a mentor, you need to follow all the rules too and be familiar with the rules of the game. But you know what? As you're playing the game, don't deviate from the rules of the game, because you teach your child that it's good to play by the rules, because when you win, you feel good if you've done it by doing it the right way. And if you lose in the game, which is okay to do too, it's not a bad deal and nobody cheated. Play by the rules is such a valuable life skill, because let's face it, in life, you really do need to play by the rules. The next life lesson that's a favorite of mine, and I work on with my little guy all the time, is to say thank you. Thank you for a snack that I bring in. I always ask him, hey, what do you say? And he says, thank you. We recently had a bowling party, as our Kids Hope USA program had a bowling party. And when we were getting ready to leave the bowling alley, I told him, you need to go up and tell Miss Becky thank you for organizing and putting on this party. Then the next time we got together for our mentoring session, had him make a thank you card out of an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper folded in half, and he made a thank you card for Miss Becky too. Now he told me, he said, Mr. Dave, why do I have to say thank you again? I said thank you at the bowling alley like you asked me to. And I told him this, it's because when somebody does something really nice for you, it's good to say thank you more than once. And also what we've worked on is that at Christmas and at Valentine's Day, we made a card for his teacher, and he said thank you to her for being a great teacher. You know what? I asked him, I said, what did your teacher do when you handed her the card? He said, boy, she smiled and gave me a big hug, and he knew it was worth it. But saying thank you is an amazing life skill to have. Finally, let's focus on offering ideas or suggestions. Now that doesn't seem like a big deal, but when you're with your child and you're planning out the hour that you're going to spend together, and you say, what would you like to do? Or what are your ideas? And then you write those down or honor those ideas, boy, you bring value to his or her opinion. Another way to look at this came to me from a mentor who said that he plays the imagination game with the little guy that he mentors. And basically that involves them imagining a story or something that's going on. And in the midst of that imagination, he'll stop from time to time and say, so what would you do in that situation? Or what would you do? What would you order? What would you say? What would you ask? And then they make up all these scenarios and they fill in the blanks. So every time that you allow your child to make a suggestion, to offer an idea or whatever, you honor him or her and you share with him or her that his opinion is valid and valuable. Now think for a moment about the classroom setting. Isn't your child going to need to be able to offer suggestions and speak up in class to really do well in school? Well, you can help make a difference by helping him or her know how to offer ideas and suggestions. So today we've looked at the value of shaking hands, of sharing, of taking turns, playing by the rules, saying thank you, and asking, what's your idea? And all of these will help your child start to really think about others and think about interacting with others in a real positive way. And actually, that's what they'll do. They'll help your child interact with others in a real positive way. So they're extremely valuable life skills that your child is going to need today, tomorrow, and for the rest of his or her life. You know what? If you're wondering, am I making a difference? Well, when you're sharing life skills, helping your child develop the ability to interact with others in a positive way, yes, you are making a difference. In fact, you're helping a little life to change. And we all know that when you change a life, it's no small change.